Bronwyn, you are our founder and patron. Could you tell us a bit about how Lalor and District Men's Shed came to be?
Thanks for calling me that, Jim. That's nice. So basically, we knew that there was no men's shed in the area, and this is when I first became a member of Parliament. So I sort of thought, well, why don't we have one? And I tried to ask around a few organisations, and there, to be honest, wasn't much interest. So we thought we'd do it ourselves. I rang the local paper, and they agreed to do an article, do an interview about men's sheds. And then there was a little line down the bottom that said, anyone that's interested in joining or starting a men's shed in Lalor, they can contact my office. We had a meeting. I reckon there was about 20 people, would you say, Jim, that turned up?
I wasn't there.
Oh, you were there at the first one?
No.
So sorry. Well, many members that are here today at this lunch were around that table at the time. And basically we just went around the table, asked people why they were interested. Many said actually that their wives cut the article out of the paper and said, go down and do this, it'll do you good, which was sort of nice. And from there, I approached the Peter Lalor College, and at the time the old principal, he agreed. He said, we've got plenty of space here, it's not being used, and he would love to have a men's shed. And at that time, I think it really happened quickly. So I probably did all the easy work. It was really the sort of founding members of the men's shed that did the hard work, cleaned it all out, set it all up, had the agreement with the principal, and they were also doing a lot of work with the students at the school as well, bringing them into the men's shed and sort of doing some mentoring, which was really good. So that's really, in my memory, how it all happened.
So, 8 years in, here we all are. You must be very pleased.
Yes, I am. It's a great shed. The thing that I really like about it is also that it's an independent one. It's not run by any other community organisation, because some I know, have had a few issues because those organisations don't necessarily match the aspirations of the members of the men's sheds. But with the Lalor and District Men's Shed, it is in the members' hands. They can do what they like, the programs they want to do, and they can partner with whoever they want to. So to me, that's a real proper, self-determining, sort of empowering model, where men coming together for men to do things, and of course there's also the 1 or 2 women that are part of the program as well, and make a great contribution.
Thanks very much for that.
My name is Dimitri. We're at the men's shed in Lalor, and here we try to see and organize men and women. Age 60, and we try to spend our time trying and teach, not actually teach, but show people what they can do and what they are capable of doing. I'm also the past president, also a member of Garden next door. It's on the same ground, the Lalor Community Garden. But my main interest is the shed, and I've been since it started. I'm involved in the metal side of the men's shed, such as wrought iron, repair, the metal parts as people bring them in. We do some work for schools and some kindergartens that they have and ask for certain repairs and so on. But this is my life now.
Hi Ken, I've got the very great honour to interview you about the men's shed, the Lalor and District Men's Shed. First of all, I guess, how long have you been a member of the men's shed?
I joined in late 2015, just when I retired from the place I was working in, also in hospital. And since then I joined it. I found out about Men's Shed through joining U3A.
Oh, yes, okay.
And there's a couple of members there who talked, and I said, and my wife incited me to do something. So I said, how about I do something too? Instead of idling myself at home, that's why I joined. That's how I joined, and I think I'm enjoying it.
And what made you sort of choose the Men's Shed? Because there are a number of other organisations, but why? What attracted you to the Men's Shed?
Good question. In my high school teaching, I was teaching in industrial art subjects. That's woodwork, metalwork, and drawing and design. And I like to do things, thinking from here and working with my hands. And that's what I thought I can do better, best. And that will keep my interest going along to do some work around my house for the people, for the community. That's what incited me, and that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah, you must be a great help to the Men's Shed, seeing that you've got those teaching qualifications.
Yes.
So, and now that you're there at the Men's Shed, what are the things that you're sort of doing there that you sort of enjoy the most?
I enjoy people doing something and are learning from whatever they're doing. I can pick up some ideas. I can give some ideas that I know I can give to them. And I have done with the Christmas coming up, helping making toys that they put on the market to sell. Like sort of meeting people and enjoying what they tell me, and I tell them the stories about their past and what the difficulties they face, and any suggestions that can give me or I can give them. That keeps me interest going.
One of the members I was talking to earlier at this lunch was saying that from the Men's Shed, he makes the wooden bowls, and now he's actually going round to markets. So he's actually learnt a skill that he can then use away from the Men's Shed as well, which is also a great idea.
I like to. I'm not interested in like making things selling in the market. I'm interested in making things for others to, like for the Men's Shed itself, organizing stuff and fixing up anything that they need to be fixed, or helping other men doing some work, or holding some tools for them, or holding some things for them to do work, and giving some ideas and getting some ideas from them how to do things.
So what would you say to men that have retired from the workforce, as what can the Men's Shed offer to them?
Oh, plenty. I think one is getting connected, men to men, finding their lifestyle and their problems and sorting out the problems, and giving something that they cannot do it while they are doing full-time work now, and learning picking something, giving something back to the community, and engaging yourself with other people, so you are not mentally draining out, or helping to revive a mental activity, mental alertness, and solving problems that will keep your mind and also your body healthy by doing physically some work.
You happy with that, Ken?
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to add?
Well, I would like to encourage people, like people who are senior citizens or nothing to do at home, or they're going out to pokies, to play pokies, they're wasting their time and money there, to come out to the Men's Shed, join the Men's Shed, and even if you're not kind of do anything, at least get yourself involved with connecting with people, talking to them and getting their views and getting your views across to them.
And you are all a very friendly bunch.
Of course, yeah. We have our little bit ups and downs, but with the things, if we can let go of the past, so it's better for the future.
Con, what is it that brings you to a Men's Shed?
Beautiful. Nice to be there.
But what is it that actually attracted you to the Men's Shed?
The work I'm doing.
Now tell us a bit about that work.
Enjoying that, fixing up lawn mowers.
Yep.
Don't matter how bad it is, when I take decision to make, I fix them. Don't matter how much cost.
Now
That will make me happy.
Now you're a bit of a legend locally. You're the man. You're the man.
I
That
love working with the people.
the impossible repairs and reconstruction of some very old two-stroke equipment.
I fix up many old ones too.
Now
I
what-
love the old machines too.
What are the other things you enjoy about the men's shed?
Company, people, love me.
What would you say to somebody who was perhaps thinking about joining a men's shed?
Welcome. I welcome them to come. The best place. You got to have somewhere to go, you know. Away from the routine you do every day. At home, what you do? You got to be there somewhere. Very happy.
Thank you.
Well, my name's Eileen Danger. I'm about to retire from my paid job. I've been doing men's shed for about 3 years. I absolutely love it. They saw an ad in the local paper. We had about 20 cat feeders and, 16 cat feeders and 4 dog feeders. And we've sold half of them, which is great. I actually saw the ad in the paper when they first started off.
What's your most favourite work you've done?
We did a lot of finishing work for the guys with other things like wheelbarrows and little ride-on trikes for kids, push along. We finished off their work for them, painted them, stained them. But I've enjoyed doing the cats, but we did so many, it just got a bit monotonous. But we like to keep changing it up because you do get bored doing the same thing all the time. A while back, Dominic and I made dinosaurs, little dinosaurs, painted them bright colours, fluoro colours, and his grandchildren absolutely loved them. They were here today.
Yeah, well, this is true. Ronald and I and a few others sat around a big table in Bronwyn's old offices in High Street and got a steering committee together and we met. Bronwyn spoke to Paul, who was he's now retired, the principal of the school, and we met him in his conference room and discussed a lot of things. Actually, we discussed about how we can use this, or will we use it, what can we use, and he was so gracious and so flexible about the whole thing, and we went and had a look at the trade wing that was available because it was an empty shell that wasn't doing anything, and this is how basically we started off. We moved into this, cleaned the place up, and got a lot of members. We put a lot of time, a lot of effort went into it, advertising and stuff like that, with Bronwyn's help, and we are now successfully running a men's shed.
Everyone knows me as Ruffy. I traded as Rough and Ready. Rough was actually me dog, but when people rang up, all they wanted to do was say, "How's Ruffy?" And I'd say, "What about me?" So when Ruffy died, I became Rough. And I was Rough and Ready factory and home maintenance. Then I got slower and slower to the point where I could hardly talk, I could hardly walk, and eventually I got diagnosed with Parkinson's. And I wasn't going to sit in the corner and choke myself to death. I found a men's shed and I could still come in here, and although I'm limited in what I can do, I can still perform useful work in the community, either teaching younger fellas how to do it. I'm a fitter and turner by trade, so I wasn't born old. I started off little, and I was a product of technical colleges. As such, all this stuff here I feel at home. I was with it when I was 14 years old. I'm now 76, so it's not a bad effort, is it, for an old bloke?
No.
And I can still teach people how to use their hands, even if they've never used them. Everyone's got a skill that they can develop with a bit of tuition. Art work is just an extension of what I do. I've got some say a twisted mind, and I look at bits of metal and that, and I thought we could make that out of that, and that's where we're coming from.
What's behind some of your artwork? Like, what gives you ideas to make it?
I can't explain that. It's just something in your psyche that people look at things and don't see them, whereas I look at something and I see things in it, and it's it's difficult to put in words. You either got it or you haven't. People can go into workshops or shops, and as I say, they look, but they don't see. I look at something, I think, oh, you could do that with that. But just because during my life I've been fixing stuff, so I can see the potential even in something broken. I can fix it or restore it. People from all walks of life come in here. They've suffered depression, anxiety, getting over severe illnesses, and they come in here with like-minded guys, and it lifts their spirit when they leave. Even if they don't do anything, they can come and discuss how they're getting on at home, and it's a lifestyle for older people like myself. And I feel really strongly about the fact that this place could shut down. Where do I go now? I'm too old to go on to another one, and that's why I feel very passionate about keeping this open for the people like me in the community.
My name's Jim Kerrin. I'm the Secretary of the Lalor and District Men's Shed. That video clip that you've just seen of Ruffy was taken in August of 2017. It's taken an awful lot of work, and it's taken a great deal of, should I say, patience in negotiating this outcome. Now, none of what we're about to show you would be possible were it not for the assistance of our local MP, Bronwyn Halfpenny, who not only has secured us the use of part of this building moving forwards, but has also secured $6.01 million for its renovation. So what we're looking at here is the final drawing which the Men's Shed has approved. This drawing was prepared by Clark Hopkins Clark Architects, who have been absolutely fantastic to work with. Those of you who've been involved in exercises in committee design will understand that that whole process is fraught with peril. The way that Amy Fitzgerald and Wayne Stevens have approached this has avoided all of those issues, and we can do nothing but commend the way in which they've managed this. So this is Robert Street along here, and you can see these steps leading into the entry. This entry is actually our current wood store, so entry to this building will be via Robert Street through the middle. Walk in one way, U3A area here, Lalor and District Men's Shed area here. Now basically we have come out of this a little bit down on the space that we currently occupy. However, through the more intelligent use of that space, we've actually come out well ahead. So you'll come through here. Here's our office and meeting room. It's a bigger room, bigger space than the space we currently occupy. The specification was that we run a committee of between 12 and 14 people, including visitors. This space will accommodate that. The current space currently doesn't. So you'll come in here, you'll sign in here, and then you'll either come down here into the lunchroom, same size as the lunchroom we've occupied. We've got a grant to upgrade all the equipment. Then moving down, we've retained a space for the Mary Ang school activities and other special activities. Coming down into the metalwork area, that is actually occupying about the same space as it currently occupies. This is 19 metres long, so machining, electrical and other things will be accommodated in this space. Now, coming out here, we have where our barbecue trailer will be stored. We have a bench, a sink and a roller door to provide access for larger things in and out of this space here. Coming across to the breezeway, the breezeway will be kept clear and will be used for storage. Also, we will use this space when we resume our open days. Across here we have woodwork. We have working down. We have tried to locate all the noisy machinery at the far end of the building to the U3A activities, which should ensure that there's no clashes of use as regards noise and dust. So here we have our panel saw. We'll also use this room for the storage of goods for sale and other things like that. We have a general woodwork room here, which is way bigger than the existing 2 rooms. Small machinery along this wall, much the same layout. Mitre saw, there'll be benches, pendants over the benches. Here we've introduced a booth for sanding in an attempt to minimise dust and vastly improve our industrial hygiene. Tool store here, and in this area here is our heavy machinery. So the 14-inch table saw, the big band saw, the big thicknesser, the CNC machine and the radial arm saw.